A 17-year-old racing against time makes a choice that not only alters his future, but transforms an entire community. This is the story of Marcus Johnson, a high school senior who had no idea he was about to help one of America's richest men, and the mind-blowing reward that followed. It's a tale of sacrifice, character, and a ripple effect that will inspire you to rethink your next choice. It's 7:30 a.m. on a busy Cleveland highway, rush hour in full swing. Marcus Johnson, a 17-year-old senior at East Cleveland High, pedals furiously on his bike, cutting through the chaos. He's late, dangerously late, for the most critical exam of his life. But then he spots a stranded motorist, a well-dressed older man beside a sleek Mercedes with a flat tire, looking utterly lost. Marcus could keep riding. Every second counts. But what he does next changes everything. To understand why Marcus's decision was so monumental, you need to know what this morning meant to him. Marcus isn't your average teenager. He's up at 5 a.m. every day, delivering newspapers to 50 houses for $3 a day. It's not much, but every cent matters. Marcus lives with his grandmother, Clara Thompson, 72, who raised him since he was 8, after his parents were no longer in the picture. Clara worked 30 years as a school janitor until arthritis forced her to retire. Now she lives on a $650 monthly Social Security check. Their small rental house tells a story of struggle, peeling paint, a leaky roof with buckets in 3 rooms, and a heating bill they can barely afford. Clara's medication often costs more than their groceries, and Marcus has seen her skip doses to stretch the prescription. That's why Marcus works 3 jobs. After his paper route, he bikes to school. Not because he loves cycling, but because skipping the bus saves gas money for food. At school, he maintains a 3.9 GPA, earning the admiration of teachers and peers. After classes, he tutors kids at the library for $5 an hour, then heads to Rossi's Pizzeria downtown, washing dishes until 11 p.m. for minimum wage. Homework is done by lamplight. His bedroom's ceiling light burned out months ago, and they can't afford to fix it. Despite the grind, Marcus never complains. Clara taught him a vital lesson. We may not have money, but we're rich in character, and no one can take that from you. Marcus dreams of attending Ohio State University's engineering program. His grades qualify him, but tuition is a hurdle. He's been working on a scholarship essay. Describe a challenge that shaped your character, but after 15 drafts, he's stuck. How do you write about poverty without sounding desperate? The deadline is today, 4 p.m. Today is also his final physics exam, worth 30% of his grade. No makeups allowed, per school policy. His teacher, Ms. Carter, believes in him, even buying him a scientific calculator when he couldn't afford one. Passing this exam is his ticket to Ohio State's pre-engineering program, without which his scholarship application is dead. The neighborhood is rooting for Marcus. Mrs. Jenkins next door asks about his grades. Mr. Alvarez down the street brags about that Johnson kid who'll be the first to go to college. The pressure is immense, not just for himself, but for Clara, Ms. Carter, and everyone who sees him as their hope. This morning, Clara's arthritis flared up. Her hands were too swollen to open her pill bottles, her knees too painful to stand. Marcus spent 20 extra minutes helping her, sorting meds, making breakfast, ensuring she was set for the day. It's what family does, Clara always said. We take care of each other. But those 20 minutes cost him. Now at 7:42 a.m., he's pedaling desperately, 3 minutes from school, the exam starting at 7:45. His phone buzzes with the time. He can't be late. Clara's counting on him. Ms. Carter's counting on him. The whole community is counting on him. Then he sees the Mercedes, hazard lights flashing, and everything changes. The Mercedes sits on the shoulder of Route 90. Its driver, a man in his 60s, looking helpless. Even from a distance, Marcus can tell he's wealthy. Tailored suit, gleaming watch, a car worth more than most homes in his neighborhood. Meet Edward Hamilton, 62, CEO of Hamilton Enterprises, one of Ohio's largest companies, with a net worth of $2.5 billion. But right now, his wealth can't help him. His phone has no signal, and he's pacing, muttering in frustration. He's due at an 8:30 a.m. board meeting, where 60 million in investments hinges on his presentation for a major community project. Without it, hundreds of jobs and a transformative initiative are at risk. Edward tries flagging down cars. A blue SUV speeds by. A delivery van ignores him. 20 vehicles pass in 10 minutes. No one stops. People assume a man like him has resources. But money doesn't change tires. Edward tries himself, pulling out the spare and jack. But he hasn't changed a tire in decades. The lug nuts won't budge. And when he tries, the wrench slips, scraping his knuckles. Blood stains his pristine suit. For the first time in years, Edward Hamilton feels powerless. Marcus, now at 7:43 a.m., is 2 minutes from school. He can picture Ms. Carter starting the exam, his empty seat glaring. He has every reason to keep going. His future, Clara's sacrifices, the community's hopes. This man can afford a tow truck, right? But then Clara's words echo. Character is what you do when no one would blame you for walking away. Help because of who you are, not who they are. Marcus sees not a rich stranger, but someone's grandfather, someone in need. He pulls over. It's 7:44 a.m. He's choosing this man over his exam. Marcus leans his bike against the guardrail and jogs over. "Excuse me, sir, need help with that tire?" Edward looks up, startled. A teenager, clearly in a rush, offering help on a lonely highway. For a moment, caution flickers, old instincts, but Marcus's genuine concern disarms him. "Yes, I could use help," Edward admits, his voice tinged with vulnerability. "It's been years since I've done this." "No problem, sir," Marcus says, already inspecting the tire. He moves with confidence thanks to years learning from his neighbor, Mr. Lopez, who taught him car basics. Marcus grabs the jack and spare, explaining, "We loosen the lug nuts first, while the tire's on the ground for leverage." Edward watches, impressed. This kid is teaching him something he's long forgotten. Marcus works fast but carefully, aware of the ticking clock. Edward mentions his board meeting. "Don't worry, sir. We'll get you there," Marcus says, his voice steady despite his own deadline. He protects Edward's suit from grease, takes the heavy lifting himself, and explains each step with respect. "Step back, sir, for safety," he says, jacking up the car. Clara's lessons, safety first, guide him. Edward, curious, asks, "You know cars well, work on them often?" Marcus nods. "My neighbor, Mr. Lopez, says every man should know how to fix a tire, check oil, jump a battery, basics to help people." Edward smiles. Smart neighbor. "What's your name?" "Marcus Johnson, sir. I'm Edward Hamilton. Your parents raised you right." Marcus pauses. "My grandmother, Clara, raised me. She taught me to help when I can." Edward feels a pang. He too was raised by his grandmother after losing his parents young. "Your grandmother sounds wise," he says. Marcus nods, tightening the lug nuts. She says character is who you are when no one important's watching. The words hit Edward hard. No one important. But someone important is watching. Someone who could change Marcus's life. In 15 minutes, the tire is fixed. Marcus checks the lug nuts twice, ensures the spare's pressure is good, and neatly stores the tools. "You're set, sir. Get that flat repaired soon. It's the valve stem, not just a puncture." Edward stares. "How'd you know that?" "Mr. Lopez taught me to find the root cause, not just the symptom." Marcus's hands are dirty, his jacket stained, but he smiles. "You'll make your meeting." Edward reaches for his wallet. "Let me pay you." Marcus shakes his head. "No, sir, just glad to help. Pay it forward." Edward tries to give him a business card, but it's rain-soaked, illegible. Instead, he slips off his Harvard Business School ring, gold, with a sapphire stone, class of 1983. "Take this," he says, "a token of appreciation." Marcus hesitates. "It looks valuable." "Sir, I can't." "It means something," Edward insists. "That's why you should have it." Marcus slips it onto his keychain, next to Clara's cross pendant. "Thank you, sir. I'll take care of it." As Edward drives off, Marcus notes the license plate. Hamilton 1. The name feels familiar, but he can't place it. His phone reads 8:10 a.m. He's missed his exam. Yet, as he pedals to school, he feels no regret. Marcus arrives at East Cleveland High 25 minutes late. The halls are silent, his classmates deep in the physics exam. He knocks on Ms. Carter's door. She steps out, her face a mix of concern and disappointment. "Marcus, you know the policy." "Yes, ma'am," he says. "What happened?" "I helped someone with a flat tire, ma'am." She notices the grease on his jacket, the dirt on his hands. "Someone else's car?" "Yes, ma'am. Ms. Carter knows Marcus. Reliable, hard-working, not one to make excuses. But rules are rules." "You know what this means for Ohio State?" Marcus nods. "I'd do it again, ma'am." His conviction stuns her. Most students would beg, but Marcus stands firm. "Go to the office," she says softly. "Talk to Principal Hayes. Maybe there's a way." By afternoon, the school buzzes with the story. Marcus Johnson, the kid destined for greatness, missed his exam to help a stranger. His friend Jamal confronts him at his locker. "You threw away Ohio State for a tire?" "Maybe," Marcus says, "or maybe I'll find another way." Jamal shakes his head. "This was your way, man." That evening, Clara waits on the porch. Marcus tells her everything. The stranger, the exam, the ring. Clara hugs him tightly. "I've never been prouder, baby. There are many paths to an education, but only one to character." That night, Marcus works on his scholarship essay. The Harvard ring gleams beside his laptop. He titles it, "The Weight of a Choice." For the first time, the words flow. After dinner, Clara examines the ring with a magnifying glass. "Look at this, Marcus." Inside the band, an inscription. "E.H. Never forget your roots." "Edward Hamilton," Clara murmurs. "That name rings a bell." She grabs yesterday's newspaper. "Read the business section, baby." Marcus skims the headlines, then stops. Hamilton Enterprises reports record profits. The article describes Edward Hamilton, CEO, worth $2.5 billion, known for community projects. They exchange a look. "Could be a coincidence," Marcus says, unconvinced. The next day, during his tutoring session, little Sophia Alvarez points at the ring. "My dad's got one like that. He works at the Hamilton building downtown. Says the boss wears one." Marcus's heart races. "The big building with the H?" "Yeah, Mr. Hamilton's office is at the top. At Rossi's Pizzeria." Marcus overhears a conversation. "Hamilton nailed his board meeting today," one patron says. "Heard he was late, but some kid fixed his tire. Put him in a great mood." Marcus nearly drops his water pitcher. That night, Clara points to a blurry photo in the newspaper. Edward Hamilton, CEO, discusses community investments. "I think you helped someone big, baby," she says. At that moment, 47 floors above Cleveland, Edward Hamilton is making a call that will change their lives. Clara and Marcus sit at their kitchen table, the newspaper open. Marcus's phone buzzes, an unknown Cleveland number. "Answer it," Clara urges. "Hello?" "Marcus Johnson, this is Edward Hamilton. We met yesterday on Route 90. Marcus's mouth goes dry. Clara grips his hand. "How'd you get my number, sir?" "I called your school, described you. Ms. Carter spoke highly of you." Marcus stammers, "I just learned who you are, sir." Edward chuckles. "That's why I knew you were special. You helped me without knowing. Ms. Carter told me you missed your physics exam, crucial for Ohio State." "Yes, sir." "No regrets?" Marcus looks at Clara. "No, sir. I'd do it again." Edward's voice softens. "You reminded me why I started my company, not for wealth, but for opportunity. I'm working on a community project in East Cleveland, and I want you involved." Marcus blinks. "Me, sir?" "Yes. I'm offering you a full scholarship to Ohio State. Tuition, room, board, and a $2,000 monthly stipend. In exchange, you'll work part-time at Hamilton Enterprises." Marcus is speechless. Clara's eyes fill with tears. Edward continues, "We're turning the old Carver plant on East 55th into an automotive training center. $5 million to start, training 200 students a year in automotive repair and engineering with guaranteed jobs." Marcus's mind races. "Sir, could we include small engine repair and a mentorship program?" Edward laughs. "You're already thinking like a leader. Yes, we'll add those." Then Edward asks for Clara. "Mrs. Thompson, I'd like you to be our community liaison. $40,000 a year, full health benefits." Clara gasps. "I'm 72, Mr. Hamilton. Wisdom doesn't retire. These students need you." Clara agrees, overwhelmed. Edward's final words linger. "Keep that ring, Marcus. It's a reminder that kindness has power. What you did will ripple through East Cleveland for generations." 6 months later, the Hamilton effect is transforming East Cleveland. The Carver plant is now the East Cleveland Automotive Training Center. On opening day, Clara, in a blazer reading Community Liaison, cuts the ribbon with Edward and the mayor. Local news reports, 127 students enrolled, 90% job placement within 30 days. Jamal, Marcus's friend, trains in electric vehicle repair. Sophia's brother, Luis, lands a welding job at $20 an hour. A single mom, Tasha, learns small engine repair, her son in the center's childcare. Clara's office is lined with thank you notes. Mr. Lopez, Marcus's mentor, teaches small engine repair. 3 new repair shops open, staffed by graduates. Unemployment drops from 22% to 10%. Property values rise 12%. National media take notice. CNN calls it the Cleveland model. Marcus, now at Ohio State, thrives in the engineering program. His dorm displays the ring and photos of Clara and their neighborhood. His essay, The Weight of a Choice, hangs framed. Clara hosts Wisdom Wednesdays, sharing life lessons. Their home is renovated, no more leaky roofs, but they stay in East Cleveland to give back. Edward announces Phase 2, a partnership with Cleveland State for full scholarships in automotive engineering. HBO plans a documentary, The Ring of Kindness. The community's pride is palpable. "We're not just surviving," Jamal says. "We're thriving." October 2027. Marcus, now a junior, drives down Route 90. He spots a stranded car, a young nurse, Elena Martinez, beside her broken-down sedan. Without hesitation, he stops. It's the same spot where he helped Edward. Elena, supporting her siblings, can't afford a tow. Marcus fixes her corroded battery cables, refusing payment. "Pay it forward," he says, handing her a card for the training center's free workshops. That night, Clara leads a community circle on kindness. Marcus gets a text from Edward. "Saw you on Route 90. Proud of you." Marcus places the ring in a display case at the center, with a plaque. "Character is who you are when no one important is watching." Elena enrolls in the workshop, later opening a repair shop for working families. The cycle of kindness continues. Marcus's 20 minutes of kindness created jobs, transformed a community, and inspired a movement. It began with one choice: to stop, to care, to act. You'll face your own Route 90 moment, helping a stranger, encouraging a friend, or showing respect. The gesture doesn't matter, the choice does. Share this story. Be someone's miracle. Because somewhere, someone's cycling home, wondering if tomorrow will be different. Your kindness could be their answer.